I never thought I'd say this sentence in my entire life, but this story is about how ice cream changed punk rock and music forever. Hello everyone, I'm Michael, welcome to the channel. Today's story revolves around two friends, Henry Rollins and Ian Mackaye. Now you might think you know everything about this story. I know I did, but I was wrong. These two friends have an incredible story, going from scooping ice cream to shaping music history. Our story starts in the 1980s in Washington, D.C., where Henry and Ian are working at their local Haagen-Dazs for minimum wage. One day after work, Henry decides to go to New York to see his friends play a show. During that show, Henry even got up on stage and sang a song with the band. That song, ironically, was a song titled Clocked In, which has the lyrics, "I have this problem every morning, I gotta face the clock, punch in, punch out, it makes me so pissed off, one of these days I'm gonna smash it off the wall, go home." The band that Henry went to see that night, the band that Henry got to sing on stage with, was none other than Black Flag. Henry didn't know it at the time, but Black Flag was actually looking for a new lead singer. The show ended and Henry went back to Washington, D.C., back to scooping ice cream for minimum wage. A couple days later, Henry would get a call from Black Flag and they were asking him if he'd like to audition to be their new lead singer. This is a canon event in every sense of the word. This is what Henry had to say about that moment. "I looked at the ice cream scoop in my hand, my chocolate besmattered apron, and my future in the world of minimum wage work. Or I could go up to New York and audition for this crazy band who was my favorite. What's the worst that's gonna happen to me? I miss a day of work? Ooh, there goes 21 bucks. Henry would go to the audition and skip a day of work. He sang every song the band had at the time, improvising most of it. After the audition, the band would have a 10-minute band meeting where they decided that Henry would be the new singer of Black Flag. Going back to work, Henry told his boss, "Hey, I'm not exactly quitting, but here's this thing that happened to me." And his boss replied with an all-time coming-of-age movie quote, "Hey, this is your shot. Take it." Can we just appreciate how wild that is for this minimum wage manager, employee, supervisor, whatever? His, employee comes in and it's like, "Hey, blah, 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 this thing happened to me." And can you imagine if that was you and your boss replied with that quote? Kudos to the manager at that Haagen-Dazs. And that's the story of how Henry Rollins became the lead singer of Black Flag. Henry would play in Black Flag till about 1986. After that, he would form the Rollins Band and go on to act in a bunch of movies, TV shows, and video games, and become an author. In recent years, there's been a lot of drama around Black Flag, resulting in two different bands touring, one calling themselves Black Flag, and the other Flag. I'll sum up the drama really quick because it does have a connection to our story about Henry. In 2013, Black Flag, which at this point included Greg Ginn, Ron Rees, and Gregory Moore, this version of the band would release the infamous What The album. Also around this time, Keith Morris, Chuck Dukowski, Bill Stevenson, Stephen Egerton, and Des Cadena would tour and play Black Flag songs as Flag. Then there was a lawsuit, because that's pretty punk. And long story short, a judge ruled that Black Flag could not prevent the use of the band named Flag because it was likely that fans would know the difference. That brings us back to Henry, because despite fans wanting it, Henry Rollins has never reunited with Black Flag for an official reunion. I always assumed that it would happen at a Riot Fest. Riot Fest is known for reuniting bands in the scene, because besides Black Flag with Henry Rollins, I really can't think of many other big punk bands that would, be headline news for a reunion. It'd be Black Flag with Henry Rollins, Operation Ivy, of course. I can't think of any other. Oh, you know what? There is one more band that fans would like to see reunite. So that's the story of Henry, but let's reset and talk about his friend Ian Mackaye. We're back in the 1980s, and while Henry is out there making his mark in the music scene, his Haagen-Dazs co-worker Ian Mackaye is about to start his own journey. After feeling limited in his previous bands, in 1980, Ian Mackaye would co-found a record label called Discord Records and form a new band, a little band called Minor Threat. Minor Threat would be short-lived, but left a lasting impact on punk rock, becoming a cornerstone of straight edge, punk rock, and hardcore punk history. Minor Threat would ultimately break up because some of the band members had to go to college. No drama, just college. After Minor Threat broke up, Ian would play in a lot of different bands. One of those bands was Embrace, and it's during this time Ian would become part of music history again, because during this time, we got the word emo. The first time the word emo was ever used was in Thrasher magazine in 1986. Technically, the word that was used was emo-core, and it was used to describe the new sound of bands in the Washington, D.C. scene, bands like Embrace, Rites of Spring, and Beefeater. There's always been this kind of running joke that emo started the second Minor Threat broke up, and it's even funnier that we have actual footage of Ian at an Embrace show in 1986 talking about how he feels about the word emo or emo-core.
I must say, emo-core must be the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I read in my Thrasher the other day that in fact, what my band, along with other bands in the city, was playing was emo-core. I'm thinking emo Phillips, comedian, Ian core? Why no, emotional hardcore. As if hardcore wasn't emotional to begin with.
And that's the short history of the word emo. Ian Mackaye would form his new band Fugazi in 1987. Now, Fugazi would go on to be a legendary band shaping the future of emo, screamo, hardcore, and punk rock. Fugazi's ethos of independence, both creatively and commercially, really served as a template for bands and artists navigating the music industry in the future. So many bands and artists have been either influenced by Fugazi or cited Fugazi as an important band. I can't name them all because we'd be here for a really long time if I did, but to name a few, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Rage Against the Machine, American Football, Jeff Rosenstock, Sunny Day Real Estate, even members of The Clash and the Ramones praised Fugazi. And that's the story of two friends, Henry Rollins and Ian Mackaye, two friends who went from scooping ice cream for minimum wage to shaping music history. As far as an ending, there really isn't an ending to this story. Based on Henry Rollins' interview on the Joe Rogan podcast, Henry and Ian are still best friends to this day and talk on the phone every single Sunday. On the surface, you might think this story is about two friends who would go on to shape punk rock history or just rock music history, but it's really a story of how greatness can come from the most unexpected places. I mean, imagine telling somebody that punk rock would be shaped and altered by two dudes working minimum wage, scooping ice cream at a Haagen-Dazs in the 1980s. It's a crazy story when you sit back and think about it. It's a story about passion, about taking risks, about how everyday experiences can lead to extraordinary outcomes. Thank you so much for checking out the video. I hope you go and check the channel out as well. Please like and share the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't. Tell all your friends. And again, thank you so much for watching. It's been a while since I've had ice cream. You want to know something funny? The Minor Threat vinyl right here behind me is one of the first records that I ever bought, and I bought it at a Hot Topic. It's not even a joke. That's the truth. I think it's pretty punk rock. I don't know.